This is Watch Your Style. My name's Eric. Today's video is on the Patek Philippe Nautilus 5980. Now, the Nautilus is one of the most conservative and proven models out there. Originally designed by Gerald Genta, same guy that designed the Royal Oak case. So, I mean, as far as that, it's just a proven design. But the 5980 is the chrono. My opinion, it's my favorite one. There's also the 5711, 5712, a couple other models there that are slightly different, combinations and complications. But this is the chronograph version. It's my favorite model. I mean, the Patek is always going to make a very conservative watch. Okay, they're never going to make an oversized, gaudy watch. It's going to be always very conservative. So for the 5980, what I like about it is that it's a little bit thicker, so you get a little bit more size there. It's not so slim. For me, at least, that's very important. Besides the fact that I just love the dial layout of the 5980. So that being said, Patek is not the type of watch that's going to attract the clients that want very edgy and sporty watches. I have several friends and clients that are athletes that have called me in the past, very excited about the Nautilus. Perhaps maybe they've seen some of the photos we posted online or on Instagram. And I guess when you see it in the perspective of photographs, you might want to think it's something else. But when they come to try the watch on, granted these are athletes, so they're big guys. When they try the watch on, it's kind of sort of disappointing for them because they find the watch to be very, small and conservative. So it's not necessarily for everybody. This is a gentleman's watch, really. It's not meant, it's not meant for the guy that wants to have the big, trendy, flashy watch. Patek is not about that. This is going to be a proven design that's never going to go out of style. And because they don't push that envelope that far, that's what happens. You get a very conservative looking watch. But however, that doesn't change the fact that it's very heavy watch in the watch game. It's, my God, that's like a heavy hitter right there. There's a couple different variations of this model. You have the stainless steel version, and you also have the rose gold on the strap, which is one of my favorite ones. Although this bracelet one right here, example I have, is absolutely stunning, and it's just, what a classic, beautiful piece. But the one on the strap happens to be the one that just calls me the most. So now, besides the obvious, design features and proven heritage I was talking about in the past about Patek, one major thing about them is value. Patek is, if there's any brand in the watch market that I would put any money in the world with 100% confidence, it would be the Patek Philippe. I mean, Patek is not gonna ever fail you. Maybe with the women's models, I would be a little bit worried. But with the men's models, you can pretty much put all the money you want into a men's Patek in several of them, and it's going to be the safest investment you'll ever make as far as watches, because Patek is one of those watches that holds. On the contrary, a lot of times they go up in value because Patek is one of those brands that right now they bring out 5980, right? Beautiful watch, success. Any other brand will just whip them out like hotcakes. Patek, on the other hand, makes a bunch of them, not too many. All of a sudden, they shut down production. The party's over, discontinued. So there's always going to be that, demand for the product, which is always going to drive the price of the product up. So that's one of the most important things about a Patek. Is just that's money in the bank. That's the most ultra classy watch you can buy. So I mean, as far as value goes, it just doesn't get any better than Patek. So, as far as quality and finish, amazing. If you ever have a chance to loop a movement of a Patek, you're gonna see that it's just quality, man. Everything is handmade, hand finished. These are the type of watches that are not rushed. You know, honestly, I don't know the exact production time compared to a Rolex, but just right off the top of my head, I could say that in the amount of time that it takes them to make one of these, they'll push out 35 gold submariners. So, you know, that's kind of why it's that much more money. You know, you got just that much more quality and craftsmanship that goes into the watch. It's got a perfect finish, you know, and a blend of satin and polish. Perfect dial layout, not very complicated. It's just got a simple chrono. Instead of having separate sub-dials, it's pretty much just got the two sub-dials in one. Date function, not too much complication past that. This is one of the most comfortable bracelets you'll ever wear in your life. The only other bracelet that, in my opinion, almost wears as comfortable as this is actually the Masterpiece bracelet. It's very comfortable, but this bracelet fits like butter in your hand. So other than that, there's, you know, I don't think there's a single thing that I can criticize the Patek Philippe 5980R. There's just nothing to criticize. Some people might say it's too much money. Some people might not like it. You know, maybe they're used to wearing some big offshores like this one. You know, and then just when they put it on, they feel it like very dainty. But then again, this is just a watch for a different type of outfit. I could see myself pulling this watch off with a polo and a pair of jeans. And obviously you could pull it off with a suit. You know, it's a very dressy watch. So it's quality, quality, quality is all I think about. Quality and value when I think of Patek. Obviously they're all beautiful. The 5980 is one of my favorite ones that they make, period. The only thing I would say above that I like even better would be, okay, fine, you know, a Celestial or something like that. Now, when it comes to prices, when you're buying a Patek, I know other times I'll sit there and I'll tell you that price and condition is the most important thing. Of course, it's going to apply to this watch, but this is the type of watch you do want to buy with boxing papers. You know, it's very important. If you're going to get a spectacular deal, then fine, you know, no problem. But if you're going to pay, you're paying good money for it, definitely you're going to want boxing papers, because on these type of watches, this is something that can make a big difference in price. Usually whenever I put one for sale, if it doesn't have the papers, but just the box, the price will reflect. I'll never put one at regular price without papers. Usually I already adjust the price. People come and say, man, that's a spectacular deal. And I say, well, has no papers, watch is in good condition, price is good. So, you know, the retail on this watch was a little bit higher. It was at 90,000 and some change, and it got lowered down to 85,000. So in the brand new market, you know, you can pay anywhere from retail to only about 5% off. Pre-owned, you want to be in mid to high 60s. And again, price and condition, very important on these watches. You want to make sure it has the links. Very hard to get one of these links. You can buy them straight from an AD, but just trust me, it's just something you don't want to deal with. You know, this is the type of watch you want to get as perfect as possible. So, for the Patek Nautilus 5980, as far as it goes in the watch game, I mean, that goes without saying. You know, it's shutting it down. Now let me tell you something. If you're over here in Miami and you're partying at Club 11 and it's 4:30 in the morning, chances are there's not going to be a lot of watch connoisseurs there at that time. So if you were to walk in with a Yachtmaster 2 fully iced out, you're definitely going to get more attention than this watch. This is the watch that a lot of the people might not know what they're even looking at. But for the ones that know that we're looking at what we're looking at, which is what I talk to, the 5980 is definitely one of the bullies on the blocks. You know, nothing says I know what I have and I know what I'm doing in the watch game more than a Patek 5980. For example, AP Schumacher Rose Gold, similar prices, two different worlds though. You know, I thought about maybe even doing a versus video, but then I thought to myself, that's ridiculous. You know, I'm not comparing the 5980 to just anything else, you know, because I just see the 5980 in its own lane, in its own class. And, you know, I know sometimes I wild out and I do certain videos on certain things and talk crazy at times, but that's just a line I don't even want to cross, because this is one of the most respected watches in the watch game, in the business, and in the world. So if you're in the middle of possibly purchasing a watch and you're maybe on the fence of what you should, what decision to make, or you're not sure what watch might be right for you, if you have any questions you'd like to ask me, feel free to leave me some comments here on YouTube, or write me an email to support@crmjewelers.com. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and share. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. My name is Eric. Watch your style.